Students, in this video lecture, we will discuss about the structure of a typical root, the types of root and their modification. So first we will discuss about the parts of a typical root. So we can see a rough diagram of a typical root. So this one is the primary structure of the root. This is also called as primary root. And we can see here the upper part of the root is having several thin root hairs, and the region where root hairs are present will be called as zone of cell maturation. And these root hairs increase the surface area of the root so that the plant can absorb maximum amount of water. And we can see here at the tip of this root cap is there. Root cap helps in the protection of the root, and it also helps the root to immerse in the soil easily. And below the root cap, there is a structure, or we can say the region. This region is called as zone of cell elongation, and this zone of cell elongation is composed of meristematic cells. So as I told before in my previous lecture, that what is the function of meristematic tissue? So the main function of the meristematic tissue is to provide increase in length of the plant. So as well, and as I told before, that these tissues are present in the tip of shoot as well as the root. So this is the tip of root where these meristematic cells are there, and these cells helps to increase in the length of this root. And in between the zone of cell maturation and zone of cell elongation, there is a long structure. This long structure where root hairs are absent will be called as zone of cell elongation. So this is the region where this root helps the plant to increase in the length of their root. Now we will see that how many types of roots are there principally. So roots can be categorized mainly into two types. First one is called as taproot, and second is called as fibrous root. When we discuss about the origin of these two types of roots, then we can see that taproot develops from the radicle. However, the fibrous root develops from any part of the seed other than the radicle. And we can see the diagram here. So we can see here the left one, this one is the taproot, and the right one is the adventitious or fibrous root. So we can see here in case of taproot, there is a primary root structure, and laterally several secondary root or root hairs have been erased. So we can see here the clear-cut difference here. And in case of fibrous root, we can see here from the base of the stem, several of the branches have been erased. There is no difference among all these root fibers, but here there will be a primary root, and laterally several root hairs will be erased. So we can see here the difference. Now we will see some facts, as multiple root caps are present in pandanus. These are very important points as far as the competitive examination is concerned. And the second point is, in some hydrophytes such as Pistica and Lemma, in place of root cap, a root pocket is present. So in case of some hydrophytes, these root caps help the plant in floating, means it provides buoyancy to the plants. And the examples are Pistia and Lemma. And these root caps are not present in the form of cap, they are present in the form of pocket. Means these will be the enlarged structure as compared to the root cap, but these root pockets are the modification of the root cap. Now we will see the modification of the root. Why modification in root takes place? Just because it has to perform some more function apart from the root also. So we can see here first the taproot modification. So when we talk about the storage of the food, then we can see the taproot modifies in different forms. And there are a total of 4 types of modifications for the storage of food. So these tap roots modify in some plants as per their origin. Now we can see that these are 4 types of taproot modification for the storage of food, and these are fusiform, napiform, conical, and tuberous. So we can see the structure so that we can differentiate the structure among these kinds of modification. So in case of fusiform, it has been written that it is a spindle shaped structure and tapered at both the ends. So we can see here, this is the spindle shaped structure. When the root modifies in the form of spindle shaped structure for the storage of food, then this structure will be called as fusiform modification. And the examples are radish. And the second example is napiform. I'll zoom it so that you can see it easily. So the second kind of modification is called napiform modification. And we can see here, this is a spherical upper part and tapered at the another part and another end. Now the example is beetroot. Now the third kind of modification of the taproot is the conical. So we can see a cone-like structure here. When root modifies in the cone-like structure, then this kind of modification will be conical taproot modification, and the example is carrot. Now we can see the fourth kind of modification, the tuberous root. So we can see here, this is not an organized structure. So this is thick, fleshy, and these structures are without a definite shape. And the example of these kind of roots are 4 o'clock or Mirabilis jalapa. Now, one more kind of modification of the taproot is the pneumatophores or respiratory root. So pneumatophores or respiratory roots are modified for the respiratory purpose. So these arise as the conical spikes from the underground taproot and grow vertically upward in the air, and these are negatively geotropic. So all the roots except these pneumatic or respiratory roots are positively geotropic. Positively geotropic means roots used to move towards the gravitational force, but when roots move opposite to the gravitational force, then these will be called as this kind of modification will be called as negative geotropism. So here pneumatophores or respiratory roots move in the opposite direction of the gravitational force. We can see here, these are the roots which are coming from the soil towards the upper side. Now, upper portion have the numerous aerating pores. So since it has to perform the respiratory function, so these are having the aeration pores, and these are the example of the pneumatophores or respiratory roots. Now, adventitious root modification. In the first part, we have seen the modification of the taproot. Now we will see the modification of the adventitious root. As I told before, that this one, the right side structure is the adventitious root. So what happens here? We can see here, the roots are fibrous in structure and they do not go deeper inside the soil. Now, we will see the modification of these adventitious root for the storage of food. So the first type of modification in case of adventitious root for the storage of food is tuberous root. So we can see here, these arise from the nodes of the stem and becomes tuberous and fleshy. So this tuberous structure is moreover similar to the tuberous root present present in case of taproot also. So this is also the tuberous root, but these are the taproot, and second several root hairs will arise from here. But in case of these tuberous roots, in case of adventitious root, these arise from the node of the stem and becomes tuberous and fleshy. Their structure is not organized and no definite shape is there. And the example is sweet potato. Now, the second kind of modification is called fasciculated root. So we can see here this structure, several tuberous root occur in a cluster. So when a single root, single tuberous root arise from the node of the stem, then it will be called as tuberous root. And when several or multiple of the this kind of tuberous root structure will arise from a single point, then these will be called as fasciculated root. And the examples are Dahlia and asparagus. Now the nodulous root. So we can see here, this is the structure of the nodulous root. So we can see here that root becomes swollen at the tip. So we can see here the swollenness has been taken place at the tip of the root. And the example is turmeric. Now the moniliform root or beeted root. So in case of beeted root, several of the swellings or we can say the swollen structures would be there at regular intervals, like the bead in the string, and these are swelled structure present at the regular intervals in the root and it appears in the beaded form. And the example is whitish and or grapes. Now, annulated root. So in case of annulated root, roots have a series of ring-like swellings on their surface. So there will be the root and there will be a ring-like structure at regular intervals. As we can see, in case of moniliform root, there will be a beaded structure. In case of annular root, there will be a ring-like structure. Now we'll see the modification of adventitious root for the mechanical support. Previously, we have seen the modification for the storage of food. Now we will see the modification of the root for the mechanical support. So the first kind of modification is the prop root. So we have seen several of the structures are coming from the stem, and in case of banyan tree, and these roots come from the stem, and these roots hang in the air, and these roots enter in the soil. So these are the pillar-like root produced from the horizontal branches of the tree. Root grow vertically, obliquely or obliquely downward. So we have seen this, we might have seen this structure in the banyan tree, and these roots enter into the soil. And example is banyan tree. Now we'll see the second modification of the adventitious root for the mechanical support, and this one is the stilt root. So this kind of root we might have seen in case of sugarcane. So these roots arise from the basal nodes of the stem close to the soil. So in case of sugarcane, we have seen several of the root-like structure. These are the stilt root, and they grow downward to provide the extra support to the plant. And the example is maize and sugarcane. Now we can see one more modification to support the plant. Now we can see the climbing root. So we have seen in case of Pathos and Piper, the roots arise from the nodes of the stem, and these roots attach themselves for the support. So these are the delicate plant, and in these delicate plants from the nodes, several of the these climbing roots arise, and these roots attach to the surface, and it helps the plant to climb to the surface.